So Amy, you're a pilot, a model, and a high-end companion. So do you consider yourself a worker?
So it's a funny thing. According to the community, I'm not totally one, but according to the general public, I am. So I guess it depends who you ask.
Can I have you just scoot your mic to the edge of the table, like that corner? Perfect.
Good.
Thank you.
When you say the general public, I'm assuming that you mean more people when you say general public.
I mean, I certainly haven't talked to anybody, but I sort of, I am only attracted to wealthy, generous men who provide for me. That's all I've ever dated in my entire life. It's all I ever would. I'd rather be single than split bills. So yeah, that is how I like to live. But escort type of women have told me that I don't qualify as one. So I'm not sure why.
Do you not consider yourself a...
No, they tell me that I don't qualify because I don't do the same stuff and live the same way. But I very much think sex work should be decriminalized, and I think even if you hate it, the way we handle it in America is harmful, but that's a different discussion. So,
well, I'm happy to get into that discussion, but before we do, you are. I'm just curious. What are you bringing to the table besides your body to these men who are taking care of you?
You'd have to ask them.
Well, I'm asking you.
I don't know. You'd have to ask them. They're the ones who want to date me.
So, from your perspective, what do you bring?
Me.
So, what does that mean?
I mean, you'd have to ask someone who loves me why they love me. I'm not a mind reader.
No, I'm not asking you to be a mind reader. I'm just asking, you are on the other end of this relationship. I assume you know what you bring to the table of the relationship, right?
If somebody loves me, and I love them, then I keep dating them. I don't really worry about the why.
So you don't know what you bring to the table?
I don't really give it that much consideration.
Well, if you had to guess, if you had to take the attributes you think that they're after the most, what would you say they were?
Don't know. I'm not a mind reader.
You've never even asked?
Never. Nope.
You've never asked, why do you love me?
No. Why would I ask that?
You never asked, why do you like me?
No.
That's an
You never asked, what are the things about me that you adore?
No.
You never asked any of those questions?
I have not.
So then, essentially, you're just giving them sex, and in exchange, they're giving you money, and that's it?
Hopefully not.
Well, then what else is there?
I don't know. You'd have to ask them.
I mean, if you don't know, then I'm asking you. You're on the other end of the relationship. That's kind of an odd answer, right? So if somebody were to say, "What do you bring to the table between you and your wife?" You say, "Well, you can ask my wife." If they say, "Well, but I'm asking you, what do you think you bring to the table?" I think I would have pretty good answers for what I think I bring to the table. You don't have any?
No, not for you.
What does that mean, not for me? Does that mean you have answers for somebody else who's not me?
No.
No, you don't have those either? So you just don't have any answers at all?
Correct.
Okay. Very good faith, by the way.
I'm a little confused, though, because, so you said you're a high-end companion, but you don't, just so I have this correct, you don't consider yourself an escort?
I sort of thought it was similar with very much longer relationships, but in the sense that I like men who provide for me. So I thought I was kind of with extremely long and deep relationships, but people in my industry say that I'm not. So
yeah, so
I don't know what you would call me. I don't really think about it a lot.
So you have a website. It says world's most exclusive model.
All of that was written by my lawyers for SEO. I've never actually read it, so I don't know what it says.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, if a guy contacted you and wanted to go on a date with you, aside from, I guess, paying for the meal, I mean, would you charge him for your time to, like, go on the date?
I would never date a guy who didn't provide enough for the vacation, the outfit, the wardrobe, everything else, too.
For a first date?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, so, like, a new guy comes into the picture. He's asking you out for the first time. I guess, what does he have to do for the date to actually occur?
I mean, it's been years, but many things. I've got to like him a lot. I've got to want to. And yes, he has to be very generous.
Yeah, so when you say very generous, though, I'm looking for something a little more concrete. Like, so you mentioned, like, wardrobe, he has to pay for clothes. Even on, like, first time eating, he has to pay for your clothes?
It depends what the plans are. I mean, again. It's been
He's
years.
taking you a nice steak dinner in New York.
Yeah, I'm going to expect an outfit. I'm going to expect shop. Like usually, they send you to their personal shopper and then the car picks you up at 7:30 and, all the standard stuff. It's pretty normal where I live.
Well, can I ask this maybe a different way? Let us assume for a second that you met an attractive man in an age bracket that you thought was fantastic. And, he said, listen, I want our relationship to be purely material. I just want to have sex with you. And in exchange for that, I'm going to take care of whatever it is your material needs are. You wouldn't date him?
No, that's vulgar, and the answer would be no.
Well, why is it vulgar?
You said purely material.
Yeah, it's purely material.
Yeah, that's not for me.
So then there's something additional to the material that is valuable, right? Yeah, so what are those things about you that are additional to the material that are valuable?
For me to agree to go out with him, I've got to like him, and hopefully,
I
love
know
him.
you
But
like
again,
him, all that's established.
Yeah.
But if the material itself is not the thing, if there's additions to that from your perspective, what are those additional things about you other than your body, the material, that you think they're interested in?
I don't know. If he's asking me out, I assume he's interested. I'm more concerned with whether I want him or not.
By the way, Andrew, I sent you a text if you could check it really quick.
Okay.
Wrinkly gold digger. Thanks. Yep.
I'm a little confused though. Maybe it's just a question of definitions here. Sorry, I'm trying to get my notes pulled up, but they're not coming. So you don't have clients?
It's been years.
So did you used to then? Like you don't, are you, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but did you used to escort?
I thought that was sort of similar, but I've been told by that escort community that is not what I am.
Okay. Okay. So there's no, like, let's say you go on a first date with a guy. Is he ever just giving, like, here's $1,000?
No, that'd be a bit reductionist for me. I'd say no to that.
But you've never been on a first date where there was like I'm not talking sex here. I'm just talking like going out on the date where he just gave you like, here's $5,000, here's $1,000.
I've had men send me more than that and never meet me. Tons of them. So all things happen.
Okay.
I have one quick follow-up I was just curious about. I have a close friend of mine. He's in the chat on my end right now, who's a pilot. And he was just wondering if you could walk us through how you land a plane.
What kind of plane?
Any kind of plane.
Well, they differ. The over-the-gate speed is different based
whichever
on the
one,
type of aircraft.
Just pick one. Yeah, pick whatever
Piston, turboprop, jet, like
one. Whichever
turbine?
one you want. Whichever one.
Well, so you
pick any.
You set up 45 to the downwind. You set up turn base, turn final. There's things that happen during that, and then you touch down, wheels first, then set the nose down. There's
but I mean,
whether you
like,
do.
let's pretend for a second I'm on a plane, whatever plane you pick.
Yeah, I just
and
told
I'm
you.
like, I'm the passenger. Hang on, I'm the passenger, right? And I have to land this plane because the pilot like had a heart attack and he died. And you're walking me through it. What's the first thing I do?
First thing you're gonna need to find where the push to talk is, declare Mayday. They're gonna give you progressive instructions. You might be able to land it. That'd be tough, but yeah. First you're gonna need to talk to tower.
Walk me through it. Mayday, Mayday. The plane's going down. What do I do? What's the next step?
You're gonna have to talk to tower. All this is gonna come at you pretty fast, faster in turbine than it is in piston. But it depends on the type of aircraft you're in. If you have any other flight crew, I would request.
Doesn't matter what it is.
No, it does matter.
Cessna,
It matters a lot.
I don't know. It's Cessna.
It matters a lot.
Okay, pick one. Doesn't matter which one.
Well, the reason it matters a lot is because all the variables change depending upon make and model.
So let's pick one. Let's pick any of them. Whichever one you want. Pick one.
Okay, so like I said, are you in the pattern? Are you at 10 miles out on final approach? Are you talking to center? Are you talking to tower?
I don't know any of this.
Well, you just asked me, so I'm telling you how you fly a plane.
I'm just a guy in a plane trying to land it. I'm terrified. What do I do?
A bunch of stuff, and you're going to need progressive instructions to try to live.
Okay, so what do I do? What's the first step?
It depends where you are. So is there retractable gear? Is the gear not retractable?
The gear is retractable.
Okay, so it's at a certain point. It's after you 45 to the downwind. Before you turn base, you're going to have to put the gear down. And you're going to declare Mayday, so they're going to give you the run.
Walk me through it step by step.
Don't listen. If you want me to talk, you listen.
Wait,
when I talk, you listen.
Andrew, are you thinking that she's not telling the truth about the pilot thing? I'm pretty sure this all sounds legitimate.
I'm not saying anything. I'm just wondering if you could walk me, because this pilot buddy of mine, he's saying just ask her to walk you through how I land this plane step by step.
I mean, it all sounds pretty legitimate to me, Andrew.
I'm not saying it's not legitimate. I'm just asking the question.
Right, but I mean,
every time I tell you how to fly a plane, you interrupt me, though. When I speak, you listen, Andrew.
Okay, I'm listening.
Great. So first, you're going to have to talk to people because you don't know how to fly a plane, so you're going to have to get instructions, otherwise you're going to die. Then you're going to get a bunch of things to do in series. There's speeds you need to be at, there's pitches, there's attitudes you need to be at. If you can get them done fast enough before dying, you might get it on the ground. It ain't going to be pretty. They're going to have the foam and the ambulances out. They're going to give you the runway, which is what Mayday does. If you're further out than that, you have more time to set it up, but it depends where you are, how close you are. They're probably going to extend your downwind, give you lots of time to try to save your own life. And then after you land, if it depends if it has like reverse thrusters or brakes or what the plane has. They're all different, kind of like cars. And so you're going to have to slow down and taxi off if you're not dead by then. So, there's a procedure. They'll walk you through as quick as they can and you'll try to live. So there you go.
Andrew, I don't doubt her bona fides here. So, I mean, what's the...
Clown does.
Well, I mean, I'm just going to be completely honest here. I don't feel like she said anything. I feel like if I was going to explain to a person in a video game how you play a video game, it'd be like press X, then Y, then X, then Y, then this, then that, right? I'm just wondering if you could just walk me through step by step, whatever scenario you come up with. You can come up with whatever scenario you want in whatever demographic you want, in whatever city you want that I'm going down over, and how you would instruct a person to land a plane. That's all.
Why is this man so mean to me? I've done nothing to him.
I am not mean to you. I'm just curious.
I'm finished talking to you.
Okay.
Hold on. Wait. There's a sound. It's too late now. Oh, good. All right. There you go, folks. We're talking about aviation here. It's welcome to the Whatever Aviation podcast. Really scintillating, me personally, I'm not a big fan of flying. No offense. Get headaches. The altitude. Anyways, all right.
We just learned how to freaking land a plane. Thank you.
Yeah. Anyways, going back to this. So I saw a clip on your Instagram, like you were on another podcast and they were asking you like something about money and you're saying, well, I got like 20K from this guy and 30K from this guy. But these were like men you were dating over the period of time, or even some, I think you said, some men you haven't even met in person, they're just sending you money.
Yeah, that happens a lot. It's weird, but that does happen.
And like how do they get, like they slide into the DMs or?
Yeah, or your website or your socials or your YouTube, all the stuff, and they want to give you money. It's interesting.
Of the guys who you've never met in person, what's the biggest amount that a dude sent you? That you never met him. He's just like, I love you, Amy. Here's some money.
It's weird, right? About FinDom, they're Fin subs. This is their thing.
Oh, you're doing like the FinDom thing. Okay.
Not formally, but it happens anyway, I guess.
Okay.
And it's super weird. They'll send you the biggest, I gotta think. It's a lot. It's a healthy six figures.
Wow.
Six, like in one transaction.
Yes.
Some dude sent you like like 2 Bitcoin or some shit? Any Bitcoin? You ever received crypto?
No.
No crypto?
No, I wouldn't be against it, but no, it was
You're open to crypto.
US fiat, and the government got half of it because it's income.
Oh.
Not
Not even gift?
You're welcome, state and feds.
Yeah.
So
No, it's
damn.
income, right?
I thought if you write it as
Do you know
gift-
any like?
The gift exemption, I think this year is like 12 or 14 grand. I'd have to look up with the IRS, so it's
Yeah,
more
yeah,
than
you're
that.
at
So
three figures.
Do-
it's
do you
income. And I
know-
don't mess with tax fraud.
Do-
I'm
do you
afraid
know-
of the government.
Oh, fair enough.
Do you know any like gay dudes that like just send people money without meeting them?
Right?
Because I'll take a couple bucks.
You should, sir.
Throw me a few dollars.
You should.
Got him.
As long as I don't have to meet them, like shit.
I mean, that's kind of what you're getting right now with the.
Whoa, wait, holy shit. That's kind of true.
Very good point.
There's a couple women. There's a
have
couple
fans,
women.
and they wanna
Yo,
support
ladies,
you.
They are your real
ladies.
fans, though.
I need a couple ladies to throw through a couple TTSs. Okay.
How do you know it's not ladies behind the screen?
There's some. We get some. It's just the names. Beat and Cheeks. Probably a dude.
Or
Probably
degenerate
did.
ladies.
There you go.
Probably a guy. But okay, so also, I don't know if I can. You in your pre-show messages, you said you previously worked in 2 industries. Are we at liberty to mention those? Or
After
prefer not?
undergrad, I did my undergrad at Cal, and I worked in biotech
Okay.
for a couple years. And then I did an MBA in LA, and I worked in oil.
Okay, gotcha. Yo, thank you, AB Check. Appreciate it. Like oil, when you say you work
I was
oil?
in the investor relations of a small
Investors,
oil company
okay.
that we took public and then sold.
Gotcha. Wait, question, really quick, going back to the whole like dude sending you money and stuff. What about like including the guys you've met? What's the biggest like one-time transaction that you've gotten from a dude?
I mean, the men that I've dated for years,
Yeah.
it's been tons over the years. I haven't counted.
Wait, can you tell us like from total collectively from one guy, what's the most collectively?
I don't know.
Like 7 figures? You
Oh,
think?
sure.
Any 8 figures or no?
No.
7 figures though.
Yeah, probably not 8, but 7, yes.
Mid or low?
I don't know. I can
In
get
the
back
s-
to you on
Get
it.
back to me, okay. And then total, all men total. If you had to say how much you've made total
I
from,
mean, again, state and feds got half of it. But
let's say pre-tax,
it's a lot.
8 figures total.
Yeah.
9 figures or probably
No.
not 9.
I wish.
That'd be nice.
I would not be here. I'd be on an island
You'd have to
somewhere.
send me a couple bucks there.
I
Okay.
would have a bigger plane.
So you said that on some issues you're a bit more liberal. Oh, we should have gotten to this while Charlie was here. In any case, you said that some issues you're perhaps a bit more liberal. So like abortion, labor rights. On others, like marriage and family, you're a bit more, maybe more traditional.
Yeah, I think most people peg me as traditional because I like men to provide and women to stay feminine and all that. But I don't have any problem with people who don't want that. Again, I like people to live the way they want. I'm kind of a libertarian in that way. And then when I said about abortion rights, I think abortion is a tragedy. I'd like to see zero of it, but I just don't think, like many other things, I don't think we can criminalize our way out of it. So that's why I said abortion rights, not because I sort of love abortion. I think it's a tragedy.
Sure. I perhaps want to offer a little pushback here. I mean, you said you're a little bit on the more traditional side with marriage and family. Maybe this is like on the macro level, you do acknowledge that marriage, family, that's best for society. But in your individual case, you said that like you've been in like 2 long-term relationships for 18 years. I mean, I'm assuming you don't acknowledge, like that's not a traditional dynamic.
Yeah, I'm not married to either of them.
Right. And so I guess how do you kind of reconcile that, the whole traditional thing, but you're dating? I suspect.
Well, that's why
so-
I said some things I feel. I mean, I don't know would you call it feminist? If I like men to
Not
provide,
necess-
I wouldn't call
no.
it feminist. So
We're saying
Well, so-
traditional roles, though. You
yeah,
abide by
I enjoy
traditional
my
roles.
femininity. I do some things that are sort of masculine, right? I shoot guns and fly planes, and that's kind of ascribed to men. So, but you're correct. I'm not married. That's for some reasons I'm not going to discuss on this show. But
Oh, okay.
but I'm not anti-marriage. I think if people want to get married, they should.
What kind of guns do you like to shoot?
I used to own a Glock 17. I don't own that right now. But I go to Tiro Segna sometimes in Manhattan. If you behave better, you can come. It's a private club if you're ever in Manhattan.
Yeah, Andrew, if you behave better, she'll take you shooting with her.
I was
Andrew's
just
a gun
curious.
instructor,
I'm
by the
I'm
way.
a gun.
Yeah,
I'm
but
a